Okay, so I actually updated the info this time correctly. Just letting
What
you
do you
know.
mean?
Well, for the show, because last time I was questionable on whether I updated it or not.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Malware. Fuck off. How about that? CC cleaner. Fuck off. I need processing power right now, ladies and gentlemen. Processing power. Are you processing the power that I need? Because we're processing power. Woo! Process power. Yeah, my internet connection right now is excelente according to Twitch.
Fancy.
I know, right? Hey, what is this Twitter timeline plugin? What does this do?
Also,
Guys, anyone?
I did find a place that I really liked.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I mean, you know,
it has like a rooftop what do you call it, like a rooftop patio thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rooftop patio.
Yeah,
patio of the rooftop
patio. Yeah, and it has grass and things.
Like grass? We got grass.
Yeah.
What kind of grass? Are you growing
like
grass right now? Is that what you're doing?
It's a fake grass.
Okay, wasn't sure.
Like the turfy grass.
I mean, you know, I guess in California that makes sense that you grow fake grass because a lot of people smoke it, but whatever.
Yeah, well, and then but also it covers water.
Just happened.
Yeah, do your thing.
Stream Deck, why have you done this to me? So freaking rude.
Why have you betrayed me?
The Stream Deck betrayed me. Did you see that? But Stream Deck was like, screw you, buddy. I see that you're here, and I accidentally hit a stupid button.
Torben.
What?
For the intro.
What intro?
The one you did for our show.
Yeah, last week.
We
are live, by the way.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You did amazing.
Oh, okay.
Like,
you know, I appreciate
loved it. And
but here's the but.
Don't forget to plug our sponsors.
See, there's the but. There's the but right there.
Just saying. Oh, Thurman, I can.
Thurman, you did an amazing job, like, please, but don't suck.
Barely any but. It was more of like, don't forget, because I forgot, and then here we are.
Listen, lady, listen. I don't want to hear your sass right now. I'm about to have an hour of that we have to deal with, so calm down. Compliment sandwich. Next compliment, please. Yes, please. Thank you. I appreciate that.
A bitch fit.
Wow, hey, you calm down. All right.
Extra spicy today. Oh wait, they can't hear you.
What? Why can't they hear me? Oh, right. Oh, yeah. The voice in your head. I was like, what are you talking about?
I forget no one can hear her. Oh, God.
Amanda's oblivious to the world.
Fucking hey, dude, you don't even know what she's been saying.
I can guess because it's the head in your voice. I guess. I don't know.
God. Oh, that bitch is crazy.
I mean, I guess you're calling yourself crazy. Is that how that works?
I am.
Okay. I figured that was the case.
This is exactly why we're friends. Crazy bitch in my head. It's all the same.
Hey, can you calm down for a second? All right, like you're flipping out.
Oh my God, my abs hurt. That was amazing.
Your abs hurt? Were you doing crunches?
That was a good laugh. Laugh. I needed that.
You know what time it is?
It's go time.
In 15 seconds, it's go time.
Okay. Is that what you were asking?
I was gonna tell you what the time was because we have.
Oh, what time is it?
I have to go do my shitty intro according to you.
It was a really good intro. You just forgot our sponsors.
Oh,
man.
yeah. What? You know what? I'm like, now that we have to go live right now, and I'm gonna hit the button. Like, let's just do it right now. What's up, guys?
Do it.
Welcome to the next level. I am Torben, your host, along with my co-host Amanda. And our sponsors, Blue Microphone and Shot Call, are amazing. If you don't
Doing
know who
it
they
in a
are,
weird order.
go check them out. I'm not, you see, you always have criticism. Stop it. I'm trying to do the, anyways. So guess what? Seeing as how Amanda just derailed me again, we are the next level. If this is your first time here, we are an education-based talk show where we review portfolios of content creators along with other educational things that we do, in such as today and what we're going to be doing today. And today is OBS 101. And so today I'm going to be teaching Amanda how to use OBS. Unfortunately,
I am so excited. You have no idea.
Back to our sponsors though, guys, just so you know, Blue Microphone is one of the best microphones out there. And if you're not using them, you should be using them because they're amazing and we love them. If you don't know who Shot Call is, and I'm just going to keep on bringing this up over and over again, by the way, just because that way we're just going to get it out of the way. Shot Call, yeah, that's what you get. Shot Call, why'd you pull your screen over? Don't pull your screen over, pull that away. I can see your screen.
Until you're showing it.
No,
it helps me.
No, nope.
But then I look to the side.
Hold on near the screen. We're not even going there. No, you have to have it on the other side. Yeah, don't tear me. Don't tear me. Shot Call, back to them. If you don't know who they are, they're a fantastic platform that allows you to monetize your content along with other things. Go on Shot Call, mix some things, do some calendar invites, bring some people in, do some tournaments. It's fun. I'm just again, I'm just gonna stop randomly and just shout out our sponsors because you know.
Yeah, where are those stickers so I can just?
I don't know where my sticker is. I need my sticker.
Right
oh, here's
here.
wait, hold on.
I found it.
Yeah. Here's my sticker.
blue
Like
sticker.
I'm just gonna put it on my forehead. We're just gonna brand like this now. Yeah.
A whole episode wearing our stickers. I could get behind that.
We don't have any Shot Call stickers though, so we can't do anything there.
Yeah. Rip. Oh
So,
well.
Back to what
so
I was talking
OBS.
about. Yeah, we're
OBS.
gonna be teaching her how to do OBS, and I'm gonna hate myself after this so incredibly much because OBS. So if you don't know what OBS, it's open broadcast software. It is a software that allows you to stream, which is what we're using today to actually stream our content to you live. This is just what, you know, one of the softwares out there. There's also a lot of other softwares out there that you can use. XSplit, you know, XSplit, slobs
Other
is shit.
things.
Slobs is shit. Just don't use it. There's no point. Lots of integration problems. But yeah, anyways, all right, we're just gonna jump into it.
Do it. I'm ready.
So Amanda,
Yes.
listen. We're sharing your screen, okay? So
Okay.
no more porn. First and
No more
foremost.
porn.
No more
one
porn.
send me any dirty text messages.
Don't do
Keep
that
it-
either. Just
keep
keep
it
it X rated. All right. Like let's just start. No, I'm kidding. So first and foremost, in order to download OBS, just search OBS as a downloadable file. You will then go to the website, which is where she's at right now, and you will click on the whatever it is. So you have 3 different platforms you can do. You can do Apple, Windows, and Ubuntu, which is fun because we're not going to do Ubuntu. Don't click on that. I swear to God, I will punch you in the face. I told you, don't do it. We're going to click on the installer for OBS, and then we're going to install it. And then it's going to actually install on the bottom. And then we're going to click on that file, and then we're going to install that onto your computer. Let's go ahead and do that for me, Amanda. How do you search, though? I don't know how you search. Is it working? Are we installing?
Yeah.
Are we installing?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so here's the installer. She's going to walk through the,
yeah.
you can generally put it
Boom,
wherever you want to.
boom,
Just
boom.
like fast. It's a pretty lightweight file in general. So once OBS is there, you're going to have, you know, decent thing on your system.
Yeah.
Me to win, but I had the same
Okay.
realization. Okay, so now
So
she's
I'm
going to
gonna
launch
click-
it. So go ahead and close out that browser window because you don't need it
This?
anymore. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
That one. Yeah, that one. Okay, now pull over OBS once it opens. So I know it's on your other screen and no one can see it. And then you're going to
Oh
expand it.
please. Oh please.
See, this is
I'm
what I have
not.
to deal
Oh,
with.
there it is. I see it.
Okay, so
There
now
we go.
that she's put it in the right place, so you have a couple different things going on here. In the native platform, when it starts up, you have your audio sources already built in. You have one scene because it wants you to start out, right? So those are the main things. So you can see us talking and it highlighting on that bar right there. That's your audio mixer. That audio mixer registers the sound that's coming in. You can change that sound based off of what you're doing and where you want it directed to by changing the properties. We'll get into that a little bit later, but we're not going to start there right now. So first and foremost, we're going to make a new scene. So Amanda, I want you to go to the scene plus button and hit plus new scene. There you go. Now name it something. Doesn't matter what you name it something. Anything doesn't matter. Name it Torben Sucks. I don't care. Whatever.
I'm gonna call it something.
Okay, good. So you're gonna hit okay. So now we have a new scene. Now why I had you do this is because I want you to be able to see the two different scenes back and forth. And so this is gonna allow you to transition back and forth. So Amanda, the next thing I want you to do is go back to the other scene that's already there. Okay.
That.
Yes.
Okay.
Now click plus sign on the new source. No, that's scene. Go to source.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. And then click, we're going to go into an image. So pick an image, right? You don't have to show us what you're going to pick, but basically name it something. Test whatever, doesn't matter.
Something.
I hope you have our overlays. Did you download
I don't have shit, man.
Did you not download our overlays?
Give me a second.
See, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what she's not even ready. Not even ready.
I'm not ready.
Not even ready for the show, because if she was ready for the show, she would literally have the things downloaded prior, like I had asked her to, and said, hey, you should download these so you have them for the session.
Which one do I download under overlays?
Download any of them. Download one of the scene. Download one of the scene transitions. Download one of the images. We're gonna walk through a couple different things.
Okay.
You're a nerd. No, Bernie, you're a nerd.
We're all nerds. I think we could be safe to say we're all nerds.
We're not all nerds. Just you.
I know,
Primarily you. I'm actually gonna make this window a tiny bit bigger so people can see what we're doing. And we're gonna make us a tiny bit smaller. So this is me editing OBS on the fly, ladies and gentlemen. You can do this at any given time. This is part of the OBS cool thing, so I can really go in here while she's doing this, because I'm gonna teach you more stuff. I can go in and micro adjust everything. Oh, look, she's finally done. Go figure.
I did it.
Yeah, she did the thing. Do you actually have the overlays? Go pick one of them and actually put them in.
But I have questions though.
Okay, well, you can ask questions and I may or may not answer them.
Okay, so why did you have me make a scene if there's already a scene?
Because this allows you to transition back and forth between the scenes. That's why.
Okay, so you need two scenes in order to like.
I'm moving things around because you need to if you're going to go. If you're going to go back and forth between the two different, so having multiple scenes is important. So let's actually back up and talk about that for a second.
Okay. I know nothing. This is not me pretending to be dumb. I just don't know.
Look, guys, I changed our entire format of our layout while she was trying to find, our overlays. Just throwing that out there. See this? Look, bam. Look, oh, look at that. Everything's now different because I can do that, just by sitting here. Yeah. So scenes allow you to have different, it's like different pages. That's the way to look at it. So a scene is something that you set up to where you have a different organization on each different template. So for instance, our starting soon screen, which I will go to right here real quick so everyone can see it, has a couple different things on it. And so on this, I have a transition. I have our main transition. I have some text. I have our backgrounds, I have our sponsors, I have all of this stuff so that you can actually, this is the scene. So when I transition from this scene, which is our starting soon screen, to our review screen, which is where we're going to go back to right now, this then has a nice transition going back into it and shows us all of the stuff that's here. So that's why this is important to have this stuff here. And then you can do an additional things with scenes as well. I'm still editing this because I want people to see the OBS window completely. So that's why scenes are important. So you have the different scenes. They're like pages. You build those scenes up. Stop typing in chat. I see you typing in chat. Don't type in chat. Pay attention to me.
I'm listening to you.
Are you though? Are you listening? I feel like.
Of course I am.
Oh, sure. Okay. So with that, you have the two different scenes. So normally a typical stream has a couple different things. You have your starting soon screen. You have your main screen. You have your review screen, if there is a review screen, and or intro screen. You have your game screen, you have a BRB screen, and then sometimes you have more depending on what you're doing, right? Crazy, stop talking to her. I'm going to yell at you too. I see that, stop it. I'm going to mute you in the chat, stop it. Swear to God.
I just want to talk to my friends.
No, you have other times to talk to your friends. Leave your friends alone. Not what this is for. Anyways. So that's what scenes are for. That's why you typically have those different scenes that you can set up.
That makes sense. You only have, so you cannot transition if you have only one scene because there's nothing to transition to. Got it. So that's why we have scene and we have something.
Yep.
So we technically have two. Okay.
Yes.
So
This one is going to be, let's make this your starting soon screen. So go find the file that says starting soon on our overlays, and then you're going to click browse, and then you find the folder that has that in there, and then you click that image, and then once you have that, we're going to pull it onto the actual page itself. There are other things I'm glancing over right now, guys. I understand that, but I'm just trying to get her to set up some basics first, and then we're going to go into other stuff.
Okay, so browse. Close your eyes. Don't look at my porn. Is this the image? Here, let me open it.
Look at that. You now have an image. Now, look, okay. Now you see the red box outline, all the things there with the little boxes inside those red lines. Go to one of the corners of that and grab it with your mouse. So left click on your mouse and then pull it one way or another. So you can resize things as you need to in here. And this is where it gets interesting. Not too big. Oh, stop. Stop. You're going too big. So just, it needs to be slow gestures. Like with OBS, you can't do things fast. So you can also do micro adjustments by using your arrow keys. So if you highlight the window, it has to be in red in order to be highlighted. You can actually micro adjust it with your arrow keys. So you can slightly adjust it left and right, up, down, wherever, depending on what you need. So then you can actually manage that window and that frame. Why that's important is when you're doing the micro adjustments for like someone's name, like I did right down here, where I micro adjust my name and it's slightly moved up and down and over because it wasn't centered correctly, right? So that's why that's important. So this is your first layer, right? You have multiple layers that you can do. On the source scene that you see there, you have two different things. You have your eyeball and you have your lock. So if you click your eyeball, it goes away. If you click it back, it comes back. If you click the lock button, it locks the frame in place and that layer in place. So it's not going anywhere anymore. It's now, you can't click on it. You can't do anything with it. It literally just now exists as a static page. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add another source and go add another image. So just name it whatever you want. And this is going to be your second layer. And then I'm going to have you add text to this too. So if you have the brown box, like I have on our show, grab that, because I'm going to show you some stuff that we can do there.
Is it under webcams?
It would be, I mean, if you're going to make me look it up, I'll tell you.
Okay. I mean, so I'm not totally seeing it, I don't think. So I just want to get clarification. I see the webcams.
So I believe it is called, and we're going to go look at our overlays real quick so we get her the right overlay. So overlays are just graphics that you put on a stream. I believe it's not under desktop. It has to be under webcams then.
Okay. It's not seeing it. It's just the webcam.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on. Doesn't matter. All right. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. If we can't find it, we can't find it. So we're gonna cancel that. We're gonna just kill it off completely.
Okay.
So just then, this is actually good learning as well. So when you want to remove a layer, how do you think you do that?
Minus.
Right. There you go. You've now removed a layer. Now click the plus button again, and we're gonna go add a text GDI. Now what text GDI is, this is actually text that you can put as an overlay on top of everything else wherever you want to. You can make text changes, you can make color changes. So just leave it at that for now and hit OK. So now you can type whatever you want in here. So type whatever you want. Whatever I want, right? And then we can go to text font. And you can change the font. So normally what I use in situations like this is I use what's called Roboto. But I'm sure you don't have that downloaded and installed on your system, which is fine. So you can just use whatever. But in here, you can also change the text size. You can change the format. You can change whether it's, gosh darn it, no, that's not what it stands for. You can change to whatever you want, right? So it looks like you just did something and you changed something to somewhere, and now we can't see the text anymore. What did you do?
That's so weird. I just made it a different font and I made it smaller.
Yeah, if you make it too small, we're not gonna be able to see it. Just hit OK. Yeah, hit OK on there we go. Yeah, you made it too small.
There it is.
So we'll get that into a second. So now you can drag it around. If you grab the box, you can make it bigger or smaller as you need to. So that's where the text doesn't matter as far as like how big you have it in that individual one. So you can change that and move it around. So this is where you can have different text. So go back. So go and right click on that text GDI file and then go to properties. So this lets you go back into it and re-edit it if you want to. So if you want to change it to different size, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can do it here. The other thing that I want to show you, scroll down or you know, hit OK. That's fine too. Scroll down. Scroll down. No, not on font. Scroll down. Yeah, there you go. You're going a little bit fast. So you can see here, you can actually change the color of your text as well. So on that first bar right there, you can change it to a different color. And then where it gets really fun is where you can do gradients. So you can really customize the color that you have of your text for whatever you're doing. And this is where, you know, being able to edit things on the fly. And then you can also do a gradient where you see that gradient of it going, and then you can choose the other color that's going to gradient to. So if you did like a blue, for instance, that would actually look pretty dope, because look at that, looks whatever I want. So now you hit OK and bam, you now have this. You can actually do additional things like throw a drop shadow on it as well through this as well if you want to, but don't click a bunch of those options, because this is where you start getting advanced with things. But you can now see that you have two different layers, right? You have two different layers now on there. And if you go and grab the text GDI in the source browser and pull it down below, you will see that it now disappears because it's now below the layer of the other one. You can still see it as a box. You can't see anything else. So pull it back up, because we want to actually show the visibility of the text or whatever. So now you have this, right? So now we have our first scene set up, right? This is our first scene. Now we're going to go to a next scene. So go to our next scene.
Should I lock the text?
You don't have to. You can if you want to. Like I usually don't lock things unless I absolutely don't want it to move. Most times if I want it to move, I leave it open so that I can edit it and play around with it and do whatever I need to.
Okay.
So this is where it's like you can do a number of things with that. So we're just scratching the surface of what OBS can do. Realistically, this is just a small portion. So what I want you to do next is I want you to go hit studio mode.
Where's that?
It's on your, there you go.
Yeah.
So studio mode, this is the view I normally work in, and here's why. So right now you're selecting your next scene. So the preview screen on your left is what is going to be coming up, and the program screen is what's currently live. Here's why this is cool. Go grab the whatever you want on the left side. We're under the preview. Go up to where the preview is, grab that and move it. Doesn't matter where. Okay, you see how it doesn't change on the program side? Now, if you go and hit cut, it now changes. So that then takes it from being a preview to live. So this allows you to really adjust things at a micro level. So if I wanted to really be clever and not like be a scrub lord on streaming, all of the stuff that I did moving our cameras and everything should have been done in the preview window. And that's what I normally do, but I was playing around because I didn't feel like it. So you can do that, and you can have that there as a full-on thing that you do as a transition, and just micro adjust things as you go on the fly with everything. So I can do something similar to where I'm going to go and I'm going to move your camera around, and people aren't going to even see me do it, and they'll see it on stream once I'm done with it. So I'll just move your camera, I'll move everything around, and then when I'm ready for it to actually cut over, it will actually not even look like I did anything until they notice where it went.
That's crazy. So essentially you could make a ton of changes and then not let it show on stream until you're done with every single thing.
And now everything's changed, and now we're back to where you're above me and I'm below you, and it looks like it just cuts. So what's happening is you're cutting from the live stream to what you have created. So I can change anything around I want to. I do this quite often on stream, where I'm micro adjusting stuff because it doesn't look right in my eye, or it doesn't look right for this, or like, you know, Amanda's name is slightly off. It's not centered to where I want it to be. So I'm going to go slightly adjust it, and then I'm going to correct it. And most times people don't catch those cuts because if it's a micro adjustment, you're not going to see it. This is why studio mode is so powerful, right? Studio mode helps you really produce a show at a different clip than most people do, because most people don't use studio mode. Most people are using a stream deck or something else to transition from scene to scene, and they're not doing those micro adjustments while they're live. I am. Anyways, moving on. So this is where this is, you know, a very interesting thing. If you go unhit studio mode, you're going to go back into the main scene, And here is where everything's live again. So if you're not in studio mode and you want to go adjust things, it's going to do it as if it's live right then and there. So this is where you don't really want to do this unless you absolutely need to. Adjusting things live is not really recommended because it looks like shit. It just don't do it. It's just not good. But you can if you want to. That's just up to you. So now that we have our first scene set up, we're gonna go set up our second scene. So go down to the other scene that you have there, and now we're gonna click on new image, and you're gonna set up a new image. I'm gonna let you do this. I want you to set up a text GDI and an image by yourself.
Okay, let me find an image.
I feel like the voice in your head isn't trash talking you enough.
No, the voice in my head's been yelling at me for a little while to check Discord.
Oh, why is that?
Not for me to do it, for you to do it. But I didn't want to interrupt you. While you do that, I pulled a cute picture off the internet.
Rude.
It's a puppy!
Okay. So resize that puppy.
Oh, it's gonna look like a shitty puppy, but pixelated shitty. But this isn't it. Yeah.
So here's okay, you're gonna set up a text GDI.
Sorry. No. What were you gonna say? Guys.
So here's a fun thing. So click cancel on that first. Right click it, and then go to transform. There you go.
Okay.
And then go fit the screen.
Oh, that looks like trash.
It does, but that's not the point. The point is that you can immediately take an image from small to big in 2 clicks. So that's the point I was trying to get across. So what are we gonna name this puppy?
This is Frederick.
Okay, where did Frederick go? He just disappeared.
I deleted it because he looked like crap.
Okay, so
I wanted to get. I deleted Frederick.
You don't need to remove the image if you want to replace it. You just replace it.
I was just deleting it from my desktop.
I understand, but I'm saying you don't need to remove the full-on source. You just change the source.
Okay. See, that looks a little better.
Okay. So now we have Frederick. We need to name Frederick.
Naming him. His name is Frederick.
His name is Frederick.
Wrong button. I need to add the text. This is Frederick. I believe that's how you spell it.
We're not sure. Can we get a fact check on that, please?
This is not an English class. This is not an English class.
This is not an English class. Do you want to like do anything with that special text, or you just want to be like cool, whatever?
This is just Frederick. He's not a complicated man.
Well, hey, you know what? That's completely fine. All right, so now what we're gonna do is go back into studio mode.
What?
Go back into studio mode.
Okay. Sorry, the voices.
So we're then going to go click on the other scene above that on the other side. So like you have those 2 scenes, click on, so now you see you have the two different scenes. So click transition. So now what happens, I was showing you about that cut, and now the next level is now live, and Frederick went over to the preview. So now you can adjust Frederick however you want to, if you need to. Now, why is this important? Well, if you want a cool, dope screen transition, this is where this comes into play. You can also cut it, you can fade it, you can do other things. There's already things built into OBS that allows you to do transitions. Wow, I can't talk. And I'm going to show you how to set one of those up. So you've gone and downloaded one of those transitions from our files. Yes. Okay. Yes. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over to the scene transition where over where it says plus, like right next to the volume and audio. There's another one that says stream transition.
There. Okay.
Right there.
So I plus it
plus
here.
Sign, and you're going to go click on Stinger.
Okay.
Then you're going to name it.
Why?
So a Stinger transition allows you to use a custom media file that is not the typical built into OBS. So this is why we do this, because we have custom transitions. So if you don't want to use one of the generic transitions, you can use a custom transition. This is the way to do it. So we're going to then just click OK for that, and then we're going to go find the file. So we're going to go find the file, and we're going to load the file in. Just load one of them. Doesn't matter what it is. So before you hit OK, right now this has 0 latency between when it transitions back and forth. So it means it's as if it was cutting. So you're not going to see much of it. So you see the millisecond right there. You're going to change that. Nope, down, go down to the box that actually says it. So right there. Oh. Yep, there you go. You're going to change that to 3000 or 1000, depending on that's how many seconds it takes for it to transition fully. So you'll either have 1 second or 3 seconds. Then you're going to hit OK. If you have media that's associated with this, at this time, you can also click that to be media as well. So you can play media while it's transitioning. So now go back into studio mode for me. And then go to Frederick. And then hit transition. And now we see that beautiful transition of you going from the main screen to Frederick. And when that happens, those two reverse. So now you can go and edit everything on the next level if you need to, or go pick another transition scene that you want to go to. So you have those two things. So this is just the very, very starting tipping point of where to start with OBS. Like these are just very like, this is how to set stuff up and make it look good. You can get free transition on things like Nerd or Die, or you can go find free gifts and stuff like that you can use depending on what you want to do. We can start getting advanced later on. I'm not going to get advanced right now. We're just going to talk, we're talking basics right here. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go look at your settings. And the reason why we're going to do that is we're going to look at a couple different settings that are important. So go to File for me.
Oh.
And then click on Settings. You are on PC. Yes, you are.
I was like,
in here we have a couple different things. We have our general, we have our stream, we have our output, we have our audio, we have our video, we have hotkeys and other stuff in advanced. So there's a couple things you're going to want to do when you first start streaming. The first and very most basic thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come in and look at your output of streaming, right? You want to make sure that one, your bit rate is at 6,000. That is the first thing that you want to do. And the reason why is that that's how fast you can upload to whatever site that you're on. And if you don't have this there and it's set to the 2500 or the default, you will not be able to stream very well. You will drop packets just in general. So make sure that that's set to 6,000 right off the bat.
Okay.
And if it's set to 6,000 already, dope. You don't have to do anything. This is just basic stuff that we're just starting out with.
Okay. And so it auto sets to 6,000 is what I assume.
If it's auto setting to 6,000, dope. Maybe OBS made that transition. Some websites allow you to do more. So like places like DLive allow you to do 9. YouTube allows you to do a little bit more too, because it's upload speed, right? This is how fast you're communicating with your channel. So back and forth. This is where if you don't have a high tick, like right now we're at 6,100 kilobytes a second upload for this stream specifically. And when I'm uploading, this is where I can see packet loss. This is where I can see frame drops. All of that stuff.
What's a packet?
A packet is the information that's being sent through the internet.
Okay.
Dropping packets. So let's explain dropping packets.
Yeah. What does that mean?
So let's take an example, a real world example. Say that this is my packet, right? I'm going to go take this packet from one place to another. So I'm going to go take this into my bathroom. And that's my throughput. So the bandwidth of how much I can push or walk, how fast I can walk back and forth between my bathroom with this packet is what a packet is. So if, for instance, I have this and I drop it in the middle of me walking there, that's packet loss. He's popping. What's popping? I'm not popping. You're popping.
What's a pop? What does that mean?
I don't.
Pooping.
Nope.
Pooping.
I'm not pooping.
That says pooping.
Nope. I'm saying popping. Nope. I'm saying popping. Nope. No. So
well, the text in the chat says pooping.
I don't care what the text in the chat says. So as that is a real world example of what a packet loss is. Every time that I'm trying to walk to the bathroom with this, if I drop it, that means I'm dropping packets. That means I'm dropping frames. That means I'm dropping data. So the data that is my up, for instance, if I keep dropping that over and over again, like it's not going to get to the bathroom where I need it to go. That's the real world example I have. I don't know if that's the best example, but that's the real world example I have. I'm not going to go into poop jokes. Shut up.
Do one, just one.
No.
Humor us.
No, I'm not
Humor us.
No, I'm not dropping the kids off at the pool. Like that's not how the system's going.
Ew, thank you. That's one of my favorite ones. It gets me every time, man. Every time.
No.
It's a nice visual too.
So packet loss is really not something that you want. That joke was a crapshoot. Wow. Okay. Frame drop is not something you want. So frame drop means
so many poop jokes. Because you're a boy, that's why. Never mind.
Wow. No, I'm just gonna ignore that and move on. Frame drop is the same thing where your packets aren't getting to the website that you're pushing it to. That's why having that 6,000 kilobit per second is important, because that means it's a bigger pipe for you to walk through. It's a bigger hallway for you to walk through to that bathroom, right? That's how that works. So the bigger pipe you have, the more room you have to spread out, and the less chances you have of dropping a packet or dropping a frame when you're actually broadcasting to a site. Make
All
sense?
I can think about is poop. Okay, go on.
Wow. Okay. You know what? I quit. Figure out OBS on your own.
That's a shitty transition.
Yeah. Anyway.
Thank you, brain.
It also does depend on your ISP service and what they actually have. So make sure that you are doing a lot of different testing on your internet when you are actually trying to do speed tests. So normally when I'm doing a speed test, I will go to 5 different websites and test my ISP. Also test your ISP from the source. And what I mean by that is go to where your internet comes into your house or building or wherever, if you can, and have a direct connection in. That is the best way to test what it is and how fast it's coming through, because that actually allows you to figure out where your bandwidth is. Upload specifically for streaming. Yes, upload for streaming is the most important, more than download. Upload because you're pushing data to the site, you're not pulling it. So when you're pushing data to the site, you need a better upload. So the minimum that I usually recommend is 5 up for that, or 10 up. 10 up's better. If you start adding more things onto that, like more sources, more browser sources, you're going to need obviously more, because you're pulling more data and pushing more data at the same time. So you're definitely going to need more of an actual overall pipe size. So like I run on a gig. So right now my internet's not being taxed even slightly, because I have a gig and I'm pulling things in and out, and it's not a problem. Anyways, moving on. So back to this. So this is the first step, just making sure that that's up to snuff, making sure that you have a couple different settings put into place so that it allows you to actually have a better experience when you're streaming. The second thing, and this is where YouTube videos come into play, I highly recommend going and looking at YouTube videos, really researching and understanding what your technology is that you are using, so that you can use it effectively. Next step is go click on stream for me.
What?
Stream. Click on stream inside of that window on the left hand side.
Oh,
there you go. So this is where you can do multiple things. OBS has made it so you can integrate with Twitch directly, so you can actually have a direct link into Twitch if you want to and log in, and you actually can have chat on the left hand side of your OBS now, or you can just put in a key, like the stream key is something you find on your channel, and you can find on your channel, and then you grab that and you paste it in here. But I would highly recommend just logging in, because that's a better direct connection into Twitch than any other format. So most platforms don't have that. They haven't linked all the other platforms with it. But if you scroll up to the top where it says Twitch, you can click that and show all of the different things that you can actually sync to.
I like it.
Yes, this is how you would actually hit the go live button. Like this is literally, you would go here, you click that, go live, right? That's how you do it. Additionally, you can also set up, this is where you set up audio sources. So let's click on audio sources. So this is where you have your different things registered based off of where it's going. I'm just going to ignore plant. So you have your device, you have your general, and then you have your other, you have advanced and other things like that. So first and foremost, with this, you have your general. This is actually how much you're actually pulling in. So leave it at 44 hertz in stereo. That's usually the common one. The next thing is your your devices. So this is where you can designate where the audio sources are coming from. So if you click on one of them, you can see all the different audio sources that come up. This is where you can change things around to be whatever you want to be. So like, for instance, if you have a Go XLR, you can change it to where you have, you know, your music, your system, and your chat mic on 3 different separate devices, so that you can actually manage those in different ways and manage the decibel level of whatever it is. So right now, we're not going to get into that because you don't have a Go XLR. This is just more of like, hey, FYI, this is where you can go. This is also where you have your mic set up. So you actually have your mic / audio, which is your third one. Not your second one, your third one.
Sorry.
There you go. Yeah. that's where you designate which mic you're going to use and the one that's going to be picked up. So for instance, right now we don't hear the voice in your head because I've muted them on OBS and on for myself. So we don't hear any of that. So you just talk to yourself constantly. That's
correct.
That's how that works, because I purposely mixed that out of what we're doing so that we don't have that problem.
I wish your best friend just lived inside your head.
I mean, no, not
That's
really.
my situation.
I don't want my best friend to live inside of my head. That's terrifying. You can. No, I don't want to. Nope. Yeah. Yes, we will get into webcam in a second. Plant, just give us a second. So how do you split audio sources individually in each level? So this is where you do that. This whole interface right here is how you do that. You can, if you're running OBS Banana or Voicemeeter Banana, it allows you to pick the different sources, and when you do that, you can set up the virtual connectors in there to actually set up each individual channel. So you can have your OBS, you can have Discord, you can have music, all in the virtual Voicemeeter, and that's how you would do it without a GoXLR. For instance, GoXLR allows me to do everything as part of the board itself. That's why I love this damn device, because it's freaking phenomenal, and you should own one if you don't. Just
keep rubbing it in.
I am going to 100% as much as I possibly can. So
I want one
for Amanda over here. You know, the flaming hair. You haven't touched your hair, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Did about 7 times. It's because I'm so focused on like learning, and like my hands are like at the ready.
Yeah,
like
doing things.
I'm doing stuff that because when I just sit here, like, I don't know what to do with myself. Yeah. Also because you made me move OBS Ninja that way, I can't see myself, so I don't know what the fuck I look like. And yeah.
Good. I win. This is how we do it. This is how we make it so that she can't ever touch her hair. We've got it, ladies and gentlemen. We know how to make it so she can't touch her hair. Moving on.
I just need to get a mirror that's like.
Nope. We're not getting a mirror. We're not getting a mirror. That's not what we're doing.
You jinxed it.
We're not getting a mirror. It's not going to happen. So with this, you have your different audio sources, and I hope that explains what you're talking about, Bernie, because that's exactly how you do it. You split it up based off of this, and you can segment it out. You can also have additional audio sources. So like for right now, I have audio sources coming in from OBS Ninja, which is the program that we use in order to get cameras in. So if I want to, I can actually have a browser source being broadcast to my stream from OBS Ninja. Weak? What is weak? I don't understand what's weak. Someone posted a link. Apparently they might be on sale. I don't know. Moving on. Yes, we can get more in depth with that as an audio source later on if you want to. You're weak? Okay, got it. Video we're going to leave alone. Hotkeys, this is where it gets interesting. So with hotkeys, what it allows you to do is have micro keys on your keyboard. And Amanda, are you paying attention to me? Because it doesn't look like you are. Stop typing. No, you're not. I see it. Yeah. Are you? What did I just say?
Hotkeys.
Yeah. Where are those?
They are right there.
Okay. And what was I saying about them?
You were just beginning to say stuff about it.
Yeah. See, this is what I have to deal with. So hotkeys allow you to actually have similar to Stream Deck, where you can have quick motions on your bar. On your keyboard specifically to do fun things like some streamers do, like they'll switch between cameras very quickly. They'll literally have it on their keyboard where it's just a hotkey that they'll press, and then it'll be able to transition. Is that like
an Elgato deck?
Yeah, Stream Deck. I mean, I have a Stream Deck. I don't use it as much as I should. Probably should use it more, but I don't. It's whatever. But yeah, so with that, this is a fun thing to play around with and see how you can actually toy with it and what you can do. There's a lot of hotkeys that are already pre-built in here, but you can definitely add or minus more however you want to, and you can go through and build it out for each and every single scene that you have, which is fun.
That's crazy. But that makes sense how someone like Batty switches between cameras and all that stuff really quickly.
He does it very, very quickly because he has hotkeys, guaranteed hotkeys. He uses his Stream Deck for some things, but he also has hotkeys. And also the other thing with the Stream Deck is you can program it to press a number of hotkeys at once to start things going. So you can program the stream. That's why the Stream Deck's so powerful. You can have macros. Warcraft. Yeah, it's literally macros. What are you gonna do? Okay. Oh no. Just no.
Listen here, sir. I taught myself how to do that, and I'm gonna use it whenever I want.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rude.
The voice in my head also so.
I quit. I'm out. No.
Great. You wanted this, Corbin. You wanted to do this.
I know. I don't know why. So now
I know exactly why.
Now we've set up a scene transition. Now we've set up a, 2 different scenes. We've set up some other stuff. I just wanted to walk you through that stuff so you have it. The next thing and last thing that I'm going to bring up is there is
exit out of here. What do I do?
Nothing else.
Here?
Yeah, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters in there. Just exit out of there.
Cool.
So now that we have those set up, you now have the beginnings of this. So the next thing I'm going to show you is if you go down to the little cog on the actual desktop audio, the little cog. No, not that one.
That one.
No, not that one. No. On the audio. Audio. Click on that.
Okay.
And you see it actually gives you ability to do things. So if you go to properties, this allows you to change what you're broadcasting to on the fly with the things that you currently have active. So if you want to change where the broadcast is coming from, then you can do it from here. This is how you do this. So
do I need to click anything?
No, you don't need to. No.
Okay.
You're done. You're done. You're done.
Perfect.
Move on.
Cancel.
Move on.
Ooh.
So now we're going to go back into the sources. So in the sources themselves, you're going to click on the source. And this is another way for you to get to it quickly. So if you click on, source, not scene, source.
Oh.
If you click on that and click on the cog down below it, it's going to automatically open you to properties. This is why this is important. And this is what I was telling you. So you see how it says browse? You can now change this to whatever image you want to. So if you want to, you can change to another image.
I don't have one. Wait.
I'm just saying in general, like you can.
Okay,
so
cool.
Now we're going to get into a little bit more fun things to talk about. Next, you remember how you have that scene transition overlay and all that fun stuff? Remember that?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add that to your actual control right now. So you're going to click on the plus button and you're going to add, I believe it is, I want to say the media source. So you're going to go on the sources. You're going to click on, no, not there. Stop. Go down to sources, click on the plus button, add media source. There you go. Now name it whatever the hell you want. Doesn't matter. Now you're going to browse and you're going to click on local files first. And then you're going to browse to the local files. It should be local files.
Checked. It's already
okay, good. So you're going to browse to the actual, one of the scene transitions. And you're going to click it and then you're going to pull it in.
Okay.
You're going to hit okay.
Okay.
No, stop it. Now it's not playing.
I feel like such a boomer. What now?
Why is it not playing? Why do you think it's not playing?
I don't know.
I'm gonna walk you through this. Why do you think it's not playing? So it's not playing because what? So where would we go?
You haven't told it to.
Where would we go? Yeah, where would we go to figure out why it's not playing?
Properties.
Right.
Yeah, buddy. Okay.
And then from there, what do you think we need to click in order to make it start playing?
Loop.
And
okay.
Let's see if it works. Oh, look, it doesn't.
So properties. I'm just gonna check everything. It's not doing anything, sir.
Okay. Why don't you think it's working?
Don't know. You haven't told us yet. Is this a trick question?
It's not a trick question. Absolutely not a trick question.
Can I phone a friend?
No, you can't phone a friend. That's not how this works.
Can I ask the audience?
So first and foremost, are you sure that you have the selected media file correct?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
let's just address that.
Could be a picture. Let me
maybe you should go
it.
look at the transition and see if the transition's there, because that's what you're looking for.
Okay, hold on. Let me just I'm gonna redo this. Okay, take 2. Media source. Transition. God damn it. Why is it not working?
So this is where the fun of OBS is, right? This is literally just part of learning how OBS works and why it's also where it is in the layers. So where is it in the layers?
It's at the top.
Right. Is that where it needs to be in the top?
I don't know.
Why don't you drag it down?
In my head, it should be at the top.
Okay. Now that we've dragged it down, we now have it here. It exists, right? So why is this not working? That's the question that we keep on trying to ask ourselves. So you have loop on, you have restart playback and source when active, you have show nothing when playback ends. You shouldn't have hardware decoding on, and you shouldn't have close file when not active or inactive. And then everything else should be how it is. So go back into it, go into properties. So make sure that you have all of that stuff clicked. Not all of it, not all of it. No.
You said all of it.
I did. Scroll down.
Sir?
And we're gonna just double check and make sure that everything looks right. So it should obviously be working. And the reason why it's not working could be a number of reasons. You could be because you're in the studio mode and it's not active. So click out of studio mode and then pull the layer back up. Oh, look, it's working. Now, why do you think it wasn't working in studio mode?
I feel like you didn't know the answer to that, and we're figuring it out together.
Nope.
It's okay. You can admit it. It's okay.
So I knew why it wasn't working. I'm just trying to walk you through the process. Why do you think that wasn't working?
I don't know. I don't know the difference between studio mode and this mode and why.
So studio mode, what does studio mode give you? What does studio mode do for you?
It shows you what's being broadcasted versus what's like potentially
right. So what was live at that point in time?
Not transition.
Correct.
But so why didn't it show it on the left-hand side?
Because it's not active. It's not an active thing. In order for the media to play, it has to be in an active scene. It was not an active scene. Therefore, you can't have something active that's not active. That's why it wasn't working. So this is why I wanted to walk you through that, because we are figuring this out, yes, but we're also figuring out why it wasn't working. See, as soon as you go into studio mode, it stops. Or it will stop eventually, but now it's an active thing. Because it's active, you're going to see it on there. Before, it wasn't active. So it's not going to do anything because it wasn't active. You have to activate that media. That's how that works.
Okay. I like it. Real fast, the voice in my head wanted to just direct your attention to Discord real quick. That was amazing, though. Well, I'm glad we all struggled together.
You know what?
I'm glad we struggled together.
So we did struggle. We're struggling busing. We're struggling all the buses. But now that we've taught you the basics of how to use OBS, you feel a little bit more confident in what I do every single time.
I mean, this totally makes sense, and it makes sense why you need to, like, when there's an issue or someone's like, oh, audio's weird, or this is happening, or music is too loud, you have to, like, direct your focus, because it's like
there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
so with
that
this
totally makes sense.
Even from like what you're looking at on the audio mixer there, you see how there's that sliding bar? That's decibels. That's the amount of actual decibels it's picking up on the stream of whatever's going on. So I have to micro adjust a lot of that stuff so that we can have good audio. That's why I do testing beforehand. That's why we look at everything beforehand.
Sense. I like it. I like it a lot.
Also,
I mean, this by no means, let's not get it twisted, sir. Well, I will probably not be running the show myself for a while.
Fine. This is fine.
But
eventually, maybe one day.
Eventually.
One day.
Like one day we could do. Let's see how shitty this stream can be while Amanda runs it herself. I would be down to try that. But when we have good guest members, I don't want to try that.
Fun times. So there's a lot more that I'm not getting into. There's a lot more advanced stuff I'm not even talking about, because there's a lot more that we can just do in general with this entire environment and how we set stuff up. There's layers. We can do layers upon layers. We can actually set up templates. We can set up, so a template allows you to just change one thing on the template itself and then build that out. The reason why, FYI, I don't recommend normally having a transition layer on there is because it takes up a freaking crap ton of CPU usage when you do have it. So unless you're doing as the part of your go live like we normally do, I just wouldn't recommend it at all. It's not worth it. It takes up too much resources. And OBS itself is natively a resource hog. That's just, it is of itself, that is. So right now we're actually gonna get ready for our next segment, which is, you know, talking about economy and things like that. Amanda, I hope you learned something today, and I hope this taught you a lot about, you know, how much your head is gonna hurt after you actually have to take over the show.
My head already hurts.
I know, right? It's fun. So
Thanks.
We want to thank our sponsors, Blue Microphone and Shot Call, for being on with us and helping to support this overall knowledge base and impartation of knowledge to people. So we will be right back with our next segment here in about 5 minutes. So stay tuned. We'll be right back, guys. And no, hold on. Just calm down. Jeez, lady. Just... Hello and welcome back. Sorry about those technical difficulties. We are back up and running. We are back with our friend Crazy Puck, or as some people like to call him, Bean. Not really sure why. Bean, crazy Bean Puck. Is that like, buddy? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why we call you Bean? Apparently,
I have no idea.
I don't either.
It came from Blizzard
Why we
2018.
call you Bean?
Yeah, I don't remember where it came from.
You tell everyone about you. I need to tell the story of
God.
the name Bean, and then we can go on. It's not weird or sexual.
Uh-huh.
Relax.
I don't believe you.
It's definitely weird. It's definitely gonna be weird.
I agree.
It's weird, but not sexual.
Hi, I'm Crazy. I play WoW. I write limits, raid guides, which is like my big claim to fame in the WoW world. And I'm not allowed to talk about it, but I do finance in the real world.
In the real? In the real?
IRL.
When I'm not an orc hunter with a sweet red hat, I do finance things.
Finance things.
I heard hunt hard with a sweet dumb hat.
Sweet red hat that I actually have in real life. I cosplayed as my hunter in 2018 BlizzCon. It was the best. I had so much fun with it. I thought I looked good.
You looked amazing.
I thought I looked pretty damn good.
Yeah, you're pretty fly for a white guy. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know if I actually probably don't have a decent way to share what my character looks like with you, but basically he's like this red, almost safari kind of hat with white stripes on it. And I've always loved it in the game. I've had my hunter look like that for a while in the game, and everything else is just like dark clothes. So real simple, plain mog, and then this awesome red hat. And then what I ended up doing for BlizzCon was I wanted to cosplay as my hunter. I had to look all over the internet to try to find this hat. Turns out it was from a pimp costume.
That makes so much sense, honestly.
I had to go and find a pimp costume, and it was the same one I had freshman year of college. The same hat. But that was the only place I could find the hat that exactly matched what my hunter wears. So that was fun.
That's amazing. Okay, so now I get to tell the origin story of the name Bean because this is
because I don't even know it.
Okay, so we are all part of Club Tito's, and I just broke up with a long-term boyfriend a few years back, and I had wanted to go to BlizzCon, but I didn't know anyone, and I didn't know how, I didn't know what. Long story short, I got to room with these incredible people, some of whom are in this chat right now, and the Bean. And I didn't know any of these people, and we're like, we're gonna shove, I think it was like 9 or 11 people into one suite. It was a 2-bedroom suite. It was a 2-bedroom suite, however.
9, we had like 6.
No, when Tim and the other guy came, when Chavi's friends came, it was a lot. Then the bunk beds were taken. It was Murky, Chavi, Croc. Yeah. 7,
8. Yeah, I guess it was 8.
It was like a lot of people. And then Ashton subbed. It was the whole thing. Anyway, so it was
a good time.
Our little Bean here would go back and fall asleep at like 10 p.m. while the rest of us would just rage. And he, as you can't tell, he has very nice supple skin on his face. And so what would happen is every evening he slept on the couch, and I actually backed up my air mattress to sleep kind of like pseudo next to him a little bit, but on the air mattress. And so we'd come into the room shit-faced every night, and I would just lay next to him and pet his face, and I'm like, you are like my little Bean, and he would curl up like this. He was sleeping like this, and he just looked like this little bean, and it was, I don't know how I actually came up with that word.
I have no idea.
But he's been my little Bean for the last 2.5 years.
They wouldn't come back till like 4 a.m. I don't stay awake past like 12:30.
Yeah, he's a little bambino. But last year you did better, man. You did a lot better last year.
I tried.
Yeah,
I tried. I think I made it out till 1 a couple of times last year.
Wow.
So, back to what we wanted to talk about. That's just a little insight into where the Bean.
Lots of whiskey.
Yeah.
So much whiskey.
Yeah. That's good.
Oh, lots.
Good.
So, before we circle back, one more thing. I created my own mixed drink. It was half Crown Royal and half, I don't even remember what scotch. Might have been was it Dewar's? Was the scotch I
That's
had?
what I bought.
And it was half Crown Royal and half Dewar's, and you just mix it together and it's mixed drink.
No, no.
It smells like
no.
the shit you put a towel in and throw at your ex's house. That's what the drink smells like.
It
No.
smelled like
Yeah.
whiskey on whiskey. It was great.
Yep.
It was great, and I'd share it with everyone. I called it my iced tea. I was the
that's-
only one that seemed to appreciate it.
That's a big nope right there, fam. Big nope.
I like whiskey. I don't know.
I mean, I like whiskey too, but that just sounds just feels terrible.
Terrible.
Just feels
I
terrible.
enjoyed it.
We felt terrible.
Amanda, I just want you to know, above your head is a hair touch counter. you freaked out for a second.
She jumps a mile. Oh my god.
Know that you meant
You're-
on the screen.
You're up to 7 already in like the 6 minutes we've been talking. I just want you to know, and I'm keeping a tally now. And every time you touch your hair, I'm gonna add to it.
Motherfucker.
Just
Vote
like-
used to-
Also, a spider though is literally what I thought originally. I was like, where? That was my thought.
wow.
That's my reaction.
Just wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh look, there's number
man.
8. I'm gonna just keep on.
It's my head. That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
No, you
Yes, it
touched your
does.
hair. Yes, it does. Absolutely does. All right. So the reason why we're here after you guys stop blowing your hair, it's the same thing. Let's see that. Stop it. The reason why. Oh, there's number 9, guys. Number 9. We're getting up there. Now she's just gonna do it on purpose. Okay. Anyways, moving on. So Crazy's here to talk to us about economy. And why are we talking about economy? Because he knows financy thingies. That's what he does. So we're gonna first start off with our wonderful, amazing thing that you were just talking about, which is the WoW economy. WoW in of itself as a societal thing that's happened over the past 20 freaking however many years it's been around. I don't know. I've lost count at this point.
15.
Shut up. Math is hard. Has
15-year anniversary last year, and then they had the special edition
Yep.
thing. I have the statue upstairs.
upstairs.
I have-
Over the past 15 years, the economy has fluctuated in such a hard different way, and there's people like myself who've played the auction house obsessively to make money and do things like that. Oh, look, there's a Ragnaros statue.
Yeah, that's the 15-year
that's the
anniversary.
15-year statue.
That's a dope statue. I appreciate
I have
that.
it on my work desk.
Nerd.
And with that, we wanted to talk about how the economy itself has helped kind of shape some of the other gaming economies that have come to light, because WoW's been around for so long at this point that other games have picked up some of the things that they've done, like Guild Wars 2 and Diablo and other places that have tried to implement the actual economy and failed at it, actually, like Diablo. So I just wanted to touch on, first and foremost, I know that you play the auction house. I know that you look at dude, you said you have to. There's no way you're making 400,000 otherwise. Like, I can't, like, there's just...
I make gold by reading. So in
Ouch.
most of the people that make a lot of gold in WoW play the auction house and they buy and sell stuff, and it's all just a big game of arbitrage, which is actually a term from real world economics and finance of buy low, sell high, and try to either manipulate different pieces of the market in really small ways, or just simply take advantage of mispriced goods. Even something as simple as potions sell for this. The herbs used to make the potions sell for this, and it's less. And so I'm going to buy as many of those herbs for that as I can, and then sell the potions for maybe a 10% profit per potion. But if I do that enough, I make a lot of gold. I do a little bit of that with the potions. I make, I don't know, 50 or 70,000 gold a week doing that on potions, but that's not where most of my gold comes from. My gold comes from, I'm in a really good guild, and we're able to actually carry people through the hardest content in the game, and they buy their carries with gold. And we make just stupid money doing it. I make the equivalent of about 35 real life dollars worth of gold. No, more, because the token's $20. I make 400 a week. So what is that?
Math?
3. I make about $60 worth of in-game gold per week by logging into my regular raids and just playing.
No.
That's so. I mean, and
Yeah.
to someone
Yeah, it's
else's
pretty
point,
nice.
who yelled at me in chat,
But it's really interesting the way that the carry community works now. Anybody, what was it, maybe 8 years ago, 7-8 years ago, Blizzard introduced something called the WoW token, which let you legally buy gold within the game for real life money. The way it works is you buy this little token from the Blizzard store, it costs $20, and in game you can either use it to add 30 days of game time to your account or sell it on the auction house. So someone with gold can buy it from you on the auction house and then use it to add game time to their account. So nowadays there's quite a few people that don't pay for their monthly subscription anymore. They use gold to buy their token once a month and use that for their 30 days of game time. Because of that, there's been this really fascinating thing of people can now invest money in the game and be able to buy things. So if I have an extra $1,000 lying around, I can go and buy 50 of these WoW tokens, which is about 5 million gold. I can buy the most expensive mount in the game. I can buy a carry from the last boss, the hardest boss in the game, if I want to, with 5 million gold, or a whole host of other things. And it really lets the market within the game pair people with real life resources versus in-game resources. It's been really cool to watch.
So rad. I mean, I played for 14 years, but I've never been like as involved as you in all of that. Like, I just play my hunter. I'm a leather worker, and dude, I just chill. But we now get to play because you've been able to help me so much. Buy me.
Yeah,
carry.
I bought you one of those carries.
That was
I
lovely.
spent some of
That
my
was
gold to buy you
fabulous.
carries, and then I spent a boatload of gold for myself on my paladin.
so two things that I want to bring
That
up.
hurt.
The first
Yeah,
thing,
what did you
That
buy
one really
again?
hurt. I got a heroic
not working?
full clear run on my paladin with 4 people giving every piece of loot they got just directly to me, and it cost me 900,000 gold.
Wow, I just realized you guys couldn't hear me because I accidentally hit the button. So two things I want to bring up. First thing is that to Tim in the chat, Diablo 1 was not the OG economy, sir. There was other things that came out, and that was mostly on Reddit. So no, I'm not going to agree with you there. Secondly, with the WoW economy and how things have gone, how do you feel that gold farming has affected this? Because I know for a fact that in China, in prison, they require some people as part of their prison sentence to farm gold. Like, the Chinese farmers are actually a thing that happen on a consistent basis. I know that also Russia has some of this too that happens as well, and I've seen that rampant through various different things across the board. And I've been on PvP server my entire life, so when I see a farmer, I will immediately kill them.
Yeah, so that's been something that Blizzard has been fighting against for a very long time, because obviously if something like that exists where a prison is forcing prisoners to go and just farm WoW gold through herbs or ore or a combination of both or something like that, they have to get some type of real world tangible benefit to that. And the only way for them to cash out from that is to sell the gold on black market websites illegally, which is something that is expressly forbidden in the terms of use of the game. It's been very blatantly something Blizzard doesn't want to happen, and that's why they introduced the token, actually. Before the WoW token was introduced, that was the only way to buy gold, was illegally. And there is not even just the gold farmers, but the hacking community was really big, because you go and hack one high-end raider who had a lot of gold and a lot of gear. You take all the gold, you take all the materials they have, you sell all their gear, you mail it off to another account, flip it between 2 or 3 or 4 different accounts, so Blizzard might lose track of it, and then you just go sell it for real world money. And it was a major, major, major problem. And so putting in the WoW token, where players that wanted gold and had real money that they wanted to invest in the game now had a way they could do it, really reduced the incentive for especially the hacking thing to happen, because that's also illegal, like in real world illegal. So it reduced the incentive to do that by a lot. Now, there's still a lot of farming, there is still a black market, but it's actually taken a really huge hit because of the token. They just can't get as much gold anymore. They can't make as much money doing it. So it's really lost a lot of its
So
effectiveness.
let's talk. Like you said a statement, and that was that it's illegal in the real world to hack and farm or hack people's accounts. Now, if that's only in the US, right? Like worldwide, I know that other countries do this on a consistent basis. So how do you think that companies are trying to combat a lot of that stuff when it's happening rampantly at other places and we can't even really do anything about it? And that's why some of these regulations are put into place.
Authenticators. Blizzard has had authenticators, basically like a token ID. They had a physical one for a really long time. Now you just have one on your phone, and it generates a randomized code every 15 or 30 seconds or something like that. And you use that as a two-factor authentication, which has been able to severely cut down on the hacking, because those things are much, much more difficult to try to hack or break the code, or even just understand the algorithm behind it for each one individually and be able to predict what the next number it's going to spit out is. It's much more difficult to do a two-factor hack than a single-factor hack. And Blizzard actually took a really big step, I think it was in this expansion, to really push how important it is getting an authenticator. For the first time in history of the game, they expanded the size of your base bag, your backpack that you get the day you start the game, by 4 slots, which they had never done before. But to get that, you have to have an authenticator attached to your account.
Oh, wow.
So they made an actual major in-game incentive. The only way you can get those 4 extra slots was if you added that extra level of account security to make it harder for people to hack you.
Interesting.
So
I didn't
that
know
certainly
about the bag thing.
took it to another level. Yeah, they added 4 bags to the backpack, but you need an authenticator, and it can be either one of the actual tokens that I don't think they even sell anymore,
I have the
or
app.
just the app on your cell phone.
Yeah, I have the app. Like my app goes with
Any
the
other
it's great.
games that have economies like that? I've never really played anything other than Blizzard games.
I'm sure most MMOs have pretty similar setup economies. I've never played another MMO because I just sink all my time into this one, and I don't have enough hours in the day to
Same.
play another. There's
Same.
been a small amount of hours of my life invested in WoW. But my assumption would be any similar style game where people can interact and freely sell things among themselves will develop a very similar style economy.
Makes sense.
But that's just the way that market trade works. It's the way that it works in the real world. There's some type of currency, you use it to trade for goods and services. I would assume that that would continue happening in every game that something like that can exist.
All right, so I know that Tim's gonna get upset with me about this, but I'm gonna talk about it anyways.
God.
So Diablo tried to do an economy in Diablo 3, right? And they actually pulled that out.
Mhm.
And are you familiar with that and why it failed?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk
well,
about
a
why
little
it
bit.
failed.
Because it was a real life money auction house, which meant you, instead of buying and selling things for in-game currency the way WoW works, or even indirectly the way WoW is with a token, it was just straight up, I have this item, I put it on the auction house, you can buy it for $8 or $10, or it
That's
might be
weird.
the rarest thing in the game. You can buy it for me for 1,500 real life dollars if you want this in-game item. And people were not happy about that.
So
Because with any one of these market type games, any game that has an internal market like this, one of the community concerns is always pay to win.
right.
At what point are you able to buy enough that you are essentially beating the game through no use of your own or skill or really achievement of your own, just by putting money into it? And the moment you can directly spend actual real life dollars to buy a specific item at will, you really cross that border. It's one thing
Question
to
though.
buy
Question.
stuff with gold. Yeah.
Question. But World of
Yes.
Warcraft has that where you can buy, what is it, that spectral tiger mount for IRL, $1,000,
Well, yeah.
$1,200, whatever.
But that's all cosmetics.
Right.
That's nothing more than a skin, like buying a Valorant skin or a
Okay.
CSGO skin or an Overwatch skin. It doesn't affect your gameplay whatsoever.
Mhm.
So
It's not like if you buy the Spectral Tiger, you now have a faster mount than
win.
anything exists.
So,
Okay.
Right.
To give a perspective of that, it's like going from a level 1 mace that does 1 damage to going to a level 60 mace that does 900 damage overnight, and being able to go
Mhm.
from not being able to kill a normal boss to killing a raid boss by yourself. That's the equivalent of what we're talking about here, and it's pay to win. You literally
They-
upgrade yourself to a point
Yeah.
where it's no longer a game. You're just basically doing it because you can, and that's just absurd. So I
Devil's
do.
advocate though, with Bean telling me about what Method did to Race to Worlds first, it sounds like they did do that. That they did buy every single piece.
There's it in a way, pay to win kind of sort of exists in WoW. It's not like you can just buy all of the gear and then you are able to perform at that level. Like I'll give a great example. My guild regularly sells all of the bosses in the hardest raid right now on Mythic, which is the hardest difficulty and gives the best gear in the game. And one boss in particular drops a trinket that is the single best trinket in the game right now for PvP. So we sell it to rank 1 PvP players every single week. We have someone coming in spending 1 million gold every week to buy this trinket from us. Now, if they get that, that doesn't mean that they are now magically the best PvP player in the world. It means they have the best tools to get there, but it doesn't buy them the best rating in the world. It doesn't give them that level of skill. That's kind of the differentiating factor. What Amanda's talking about in the Race to World First, which you probably heard about. It's kind of a small esports event nowadays. The guild I'm associated with won the most recent race, which is awesome. For this specific race in WoW, there's always gear that drops in the raid that can be bought and sold on the auction house. It's usually only 1 or 2 or 3 pieces, and it usually doesn't play too huge of a deal. Having a lot of gold going into the raid is helpful because you can buy that gear, but it's never been majorly impactful to the point that it can sway the total power structure of who's in the lead. This one was different because there was an additional power knob that could sometimes be on the gear randomly, and the best ones could be an 8 or 10% damage increase for that player each. And some players were able to get 2 of these bought pieces of gear and just have their best in slot gear day 1 going into the raid. And it created this really weird dynamic where Method, which was the EU team competing, and Limit, the NA team competing, both spent over 200 million gold, which one WoW token for $20 is worth 120,000 gold. Both of these guilds spent 200 million gold buying these pieces of gear so their players would have the absolute best possible things. It's like $38,000. It's insane the amount of money that these guys spent. None of it was real life money, though.
No, of course,
because it was real life money. Well, they sell in-game stuff afterwards. I'll get into that. But how powerful this gear was for this raid in particular made it so any of the guilds that weren't able to spend that kind of money and get all of their players the best possible gear day 1 were at a severe disadvantage. Now, for those 2 teams, because they both had the equivalent level of resources, you can't really say that one had an advantage over the other. They both had effectively unlimited resources to buy whatever the hell they wanted. There was no real discrepancy there. But if you take those 2 versus, say, a group that finished top 10 world, you're talking about they might have had 20 or 30 million to spend. These guys had 200 million to spend. It's just not even comparable.
That totally makes sense. So kind of circling back to what you had said about how you make all of this gold by selling carries, do you think that takes the challenge out of the game? Like, what do you think that has an effect on gameplay and potential economy when you have millions of gold just being kind of thrown around like that?
I think the biggest issue with it that I have is so much of the game today is based on achievements. It's based on what you've accomplished in the game, what your character has on the account that you've accomplished. So a great example is if I'm trying to go and do a dungeon run, I have to go and get invited by a group. Well, to do that, they're going to look at what dungeons I've done in the past, how high I've done them, how hard I've done them, and how fast I've completed those, so they can get a gauge of how experienced I am. If I want to, I can just go and buy a really high rating. And I can have an extremely high rating that I paid some of the best players in the world to get me. And then I can get into whatever group I want. Because when the group tries to vet me, they'll just see what my rating is. They won't know that I bought it. And then I'm basically paying to get myself into a winning scenario there where I shouldn't. Now, it doesn't give me the skill, but it does give me the gear and the rating to get into things. And that's where I'm kind of iffy on it, but it's just the way the game works nowadays.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, so in essence, what we're getting at is that WoW in of itself is an ecosystem, and
Yeah.
really just as much as WoW is an ecosystem, so is streaming. And that's why I wanted to bring this kind of full circle to what we're talking about, because streaming is an ecosystem too. You look at the community that you have here. You look at people who are botting, right? You look at people who are paying for different ways to embed their website and do a bunch of different stuff. So they're effectively doing similar things to what happens in WoW, and that's where I want to bring this comparison to, is because we talk a lot about streamers and streaming and things in here, and the reason why I wanted to have you on today is talk about, you know, the ecosystem that is WoW, right? Because it's very similar to the ecosystem of society, in a lot of different ways, from the social structures to the how money's spent to how things are looked at, the social media presences. All of it is its own little ecosystem of individuals and people, and then you just take that and copy and paste it and just change the format of what it is, and you have streaming. Like literally that's all we're doing, is we're just copying and pasting it. And it's funny because the more you think about it, the more you realize that every single game maker out there is trying to make their own ecosystem similar to WoW, because WoW has been the most effective and most well-received game, I would arguably say, of all time, because of how many subscribers and people it has.
You're talking about a 15-year-old game that still has millions of people that pay a subscription monthly to access it. And their esports scene is growing 15 years later. It's still growing. You have this race to world first, where, especially the last couple days, you're talking about multiple hundreds of thousands of people all around the world tuning in.
Yep.
To a stupid little 15-year-old game.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's stupid.
That's something.
Because at its top end, I believe it had 16 million subscribers at one point, which if you do the math on that, it's just an astronomical amount of money. EverQuest can't even touch that, Plant. Like literally, EverQuest in comparison to WoW is
garbage, trash.
No. Like EverQuest was first, I'll give it that. EverQuest was the groundbreaking portion of it, but I think that WoW did it better, because when WoW came out and what they did and how they developed it and continued developing that content, it really changed how society talks about things. I guarantee you go and talk to someone who's 18 right now, and they probably know about the Leroy Jenkins meme, right? Just in general. How many games have affected society at its foundation like WoW has?
How many individual video games have had a South Park episode?
Right?
I mean, it had what? Like,
know you made it.
Yeah.
It's and that's the main point here, is that every single thing has its own ecosystem and how it works and how it functions. And so due to that, I want to just bring that back to light of, look at everything, guys. Look at all of the different patterns and everything that everyone's doing, and learn, because you can go out and easily learn, like we just explained, how Method and how the other guilds are doing the things that they are, just based off how they're managing their economy and things internally. So it's a lot of I have someone trying to FaceTime me. I really want to answer this, but I'm not going to, because I know what he's trying to do, so I'm not going to.
Boy. Oh boy.
But ultimately, that's where I want to end things this week. And there's one last thing that we want to actually bring up, and that's we're going to be changing our schedule moving forward. So we're going to be going from our 10 a.m. streaming time to 2:30 moving forward, PST, every week, so that we can allow more people to be on at better times every week with us. So guys, be on the lookout for that. We are changing it. We're also going to be doing more content, different things that are going to be happening moving forward. And, you know, hopefully, Crazy, we can have you back on to talk more about other ecosystems and economies besides WoW, obviously. But, you know, we'll see where that goes.
Can do that. You know where to find me.
I absolutely do.
Before we let you go, one last shout out to our sponsors over at Blue Mic. They've actually supplied the three of us here with mics, even our little bean right here, because of his amazing raid guides. So that's obviously independent of the show, but
they're absolutely awesome.
Yeah, huge shout out to
Blue
these guys.
is so cool.
Just for supporting content creators like us, like Bean, make our audio sound super rad, and our fellow guys over at Shot Call. We will actually be having them on in about 2 weeks from now to actually run through a bit more in detail. I know we had them on for a demo, but this is going to be a little more interesting, a little more relevant. So stay tuned for that. And next week we will have a really fabulous content creator on. We won't share just yet, but stay tuned for our tweets and we'll go into some more details.
All right, guys,
The
if
Blue
you're
Minion
not
Cam.
following Crazy Puck, he is linked in the channel. Please go ahead and follow them. If you're not following Blue Microphone or Shaw Call, please go follow them as well. We will be back again next week at 2:30. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate you all. As always, have a good evening. We are out.
Rock.
This is the next level.
And scene.
Seen what?
I don't know.